Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the Retro Wrestling Room. This is the series where we look back at all the wrestling matches that Dave Meltzer has rated 5 stars and to see if we agree with our rating or not. Yeah, okay, we all knew this one was coming, right? Last week we reviewed the high stakes 2022 match between Will Ospreay and Michael Oku for a couple of reasons. 1, we knew it was going to be great, and 2, we knew that the rematch that was 2 years in the making was coming up. Now this past weekend, the rematch happened and it has pretty much broken the internet, so we have to take a look at it. I know recency bias can always affect people's minds, but people are saying this is one of the greatest matches ever. Are they being hyperbolic? Well, let's find out. Let's take a closer look at Will Ospreay. This is Michael Oku from Revolution Pro's High Stakes 2024. As always, I am joined by my beautiful PIC, the Marty Jannetty to my Leaf Cassidy, the girl with the attention span of a spoon, Vicky through the looking glass.
Hi guys.
How are you today, Vicky?
I'm good. Still got the attention span of a spoon.
You're always going to be known as the girl with the attention span of a spoon now.
That's fine. I've been known by worse.
How much did you enjoy the last review?
Yeah, I thought it was good. No, I enjoyed the last one. I gave it 4.5.
You did?
I'm interested to see if this one is as good or better. So let's just see what happens. I'm excited for it though.
Okay, have you seen any of the comments online about this match yet?
I think when it first happened, you told me Dave Meltzer's initial thoughts straight away. But that's all I know is what you said. And then you said, shall we do a review? And I was like, yeah, let's watch it. Let's go. But I don't know anything. I've not seen any highlights. I've stayed in the dark.
So we discussed what we thought they would have to do to improve on the last match. How many of those things do you think they'll actually do?
Probably not many.
Just because we said them?
Yeah, normally people don't listen to me. And also I didn't tell them personally. I don't think they're listening to this. But yeah, normally things don't go the way I expect them to. Or do what I want them to. So we shall see. But I've got high hopes. Okay. High hopes for high stakes.
So a couple of the things you mentioned was you hoped that the dynamic with Amira in the crowd was going to be different. You said you hoped that she either stayed away from ringside or was more in a manager's role.
Because I don't think they could do it as well again. I think it'd just be a repeat. And I hate rematches that are just the same thing. Like, what's the point? It needs to do something different. It needs to go somewhere. And also it needs to be better. If it's not as good, it needs to be better.
And the other critique you had in the last review, you said that it started a little bit too slow for you.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to speed up this time?
No.
Okay.
Because there's been a hype around it and it's a rematch, I think it's going to be another slow burn. I think they're going to eke it out, make it a long match. Because I also know that Will Ospreay's leaving. So I think if he's leaving, they're going to eke it out and make it a long match. They always do when it's last matches. So I think it's going to be another slow burn. I hope it's not. I hope it gets going a bit quicker.
Okay, well, let's jump straight into the match. We'll start the review with the promo package, which may be fantastic, but because it's RPW, we don't get to see it properly, because instead of cutting to the video, we have to settle for the camera zooming in on the screens in the arena.
Why? Honestly, RPW, sort it out.
So we start this monumentous occasion, struggling to see or hear the backstory of what's happening. God damn it, RPW.
They're big enough that they can hire somebody to edit. I get they might not be able to do it on a live feed. I get that because it's live. They might not have the systems to be able to cut away to the different thing. I get that if it's like a live feed, if it's like a live stream.
No.
But it's not.
No.
So there's no excuse.
It is a live stream, but there's still no excuse. All they need is the Elgato thing that I've got, which just switches to a different feed. They're a professional wrestling company. It's not that hard to do.
But then they also have really bad microphones. And my first note was, I love how awful the sound is already 2 years later, and they haven't improved.
Oh, I'll get there. As the promo package ends, we get the Metal Gear Solid Game Over screen come up. I saw that screen so many times as a kid, it will forever be etched into my brain. Psycho Mantis and the Sniper Wolf level in the snow took years off my life. Even though the roles are reversed this year, with Michael Oku coming into the match as the British Heavyweight Champion, uncharacteristically the champion is the first to make his way to the ring. Looking like $1,000,000, donned in white and gold, he is accompanied by the equally amazing looking Amira.
Are they known as the king and queen, is that part of their character and dynamic at the moment, or is it just for this match?
I'm not actually sure.
So I wasn't sure if it was because he was the champion and they were doing it to make a point for this match, or whether it was a character.
I don't know. I'm not sure. The commentary team of Gideon Gray and Andy Quilden deliver an amazing line here, but it's so hard to hear because they still haven't sorted their damn audio out. We moaned about the sound when we reviewed this Zack Sabre Jr. match versus Ospreay. We moaned about it in the 2022 match, and it was 2024, and they still haven't done anything. How is it that bad? Andy mentions that Amira and Oku are the king and queen of British professional wrestling, in which Gideon retaliates with, "And what is a king to a god?" That line is pure money. Well done, lads.
Shame we couldn't hear it. And sorry that I went on about the king and queen before you had your little mention of it. Apologies, I jumped the gun a little bit.
That's alright, I'll cut all your stuff out, don't worry about it. We can see the confidence in Oku that wasn't there in the last match, not only in kayfabe, but in general as well. This is a completely new and improved Oku, who is looking the best he has ever looked. And we get that macho man spin again, so I'm sold.
Yeah, I really liked, you could tell his confidence had gone on. The fact that he was a champion but still came out first, that gave it more of like a rematch feel, the fact they were coming out in the same order. But yeah, I thought they had loads of confidence. I thought the swagger coming out to the ring was good, they both looked like they owned it. Glad that she came out with him this time. I think that was the dynamic I wanted.
The lights dim on Oku in the ring and the Assassin's Creed themed video starts for Ospreay. It also shows clips from the previous match in slow-mo, with Oku getting battered throughout. Next, loads of people come out and line up in the entranceway, each wearing robes and outfits that Ospreay has worn throughout the years, going way back to the very beginning. Ospreay makes his way to the ring in the same attire that he wore at Wembley Stadium at AEW's All In show. Once in the centre of the ring, he unsheathes his sword from his holster and holds it out to Oku, who without prompt walks straight up to it with no fear. Such a cool looking visual.
Yeah, I loved his entrance. And my comment was, so is Ospreay no longer the goat? He's now the assassin. Just to clarify, he's gone from an assassin to a goat. He's not an assassin goat.
Don't think his nickname's ever been the assassin goat, no.
It should be.
Or the goat assassin.
Yeah. No, because that sounds like he's going to kill goats. I just imagine a goat with a sword, with his little robe and his hood up.
That'd be pretty cool.
That's what I had in my head. I also like they're really pushing the rematch aspects with all of the clips and graphics from the last match. I really like that element. I felt like it felt very high end. It felt like a type of promo like WWE would do.
As the ref is going through the rules of the match with each other, Ospreay pulls out the bloody towel that he used on Oku in the last match and throws it at the fabulous looking Amira in the corner. It's a great catch by her as well. She throws it down and I think she mouths, "I don't give a shit," but I could be wrong. This is the completely different Amira as well in this match. She's the confident manager of the champ this time, rather than watching on in the crowd looking fearful.
Yeah, I like the fact that she was there.
So the rules of the match are the same as in the last one. Pinfall, submission. The only other way that it can end is if Amira throws in that towel.
Because last time she threw the towel in, but they weren't allowed to stop it. So I like that change to the rules. The crowd are on board with this match already. It hasn't even started and the crowd are on it.
They are. They're really loud. They're into this.
A good British crowd is amazing. It's like top tier wrestling crowd with a chance for a good British crowd.
So much has happened already and the match hasn't even started yet. They lock up and both tussle for top position. Oku gets pushed up against the ropes and after looking like Ospreay will break clean, he lands a stiff chop on Oku, but it doesn't faze him like he did in Southampton or in York Hall in the previous matches. This time he brushes it off and Ospreay is visually shocked by it.
I like that. I like the fact that he's like, so what?
This is a bigger Oku now. He's stronger than he was in the first match. Oku hits the ropes and is popped up into the air and delivers a Hurricane Rana on the challenger. He follows it up with a big forearm shot in the corner and another to the chest in the middle of the ring. Ospreay gets back on the attack though. Hangman's Oku across the top rope, lands a big boot and follows it up with a huge suplex onto Oku. Ospreay lands a big chop in the corner and this time Oku struggles to keep up this strong posture as he can't stay on his feet. Oku then hits the ropes, manages to get behind Ospreay and lands a backstabber to turn the tide again.
Now I thought that Oku was overselling this now. When he stopped being just like this means nothing to me and he was affected by the hits, I felt like he oversold it and he made it look like it absolutely killed him. And to me, it took me out of it. I felt like it was too much too early. Almost like a cartoon. It felt too much.
As Oku hits the ropes again, he is caught and Will catches him with a spinning backbreaker. Ospreay then body slams Oku to the mat and follows it up with a knee drop to the face. He gets Oku back up, and like in the last match, he chops and drops Oku, but keeps hold of the wrist to keep the distance where he wants it, and he can rinse and repeat. He shouts out to the crowd that he is only just warming up. The third chop though is blocked, and Oku fires back with forearm blows. Ospreay recovers quick and is able to slow the champ with an abdominal stretch.
So around this time, we did pick up something the commentator said, or I did. The commentator said Ospreay dominated the last match. And I don't agree that Ospreay dominated the whole match. I don't feel like it was a complete beatdown. He did at the end, but I feel like the commentator saying that it was stretching a little bit.
Yeah, slightly stretched it because it was a back and forth match.
Yeah.
All the way till the last 5 minutes. Oku reverses and gets to Brett's rope and connects with a missile drop kick, a flying clothesline and a tilt-or-whirl DDT, but only manages a 2 count. Oku takes a page out of another one of Ospreay's biggest rivals, Zack Sabre Jr., and hits him with a penalty kick, but Ospreay gets the advantage by dropping the champion with a springboard kick, and then lands a dive over the top rope to knock him down to the ringside floor. Ospreay hits his version of the phenomenal forearm and looks to go for the Stormbreaker, but Oku gets out and meets him with his signature running knee, which knocks Will to the outside.
I'm not sure how many times he mentioned it, but the commentators mentioned AJ Styles a lot.
Well, 1, he's Will Ospreay's biggest influence, and 2, because he is a previous British heavyweight champion as well.
Was he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, I'll let him up. I just thought that he was just name dropping AJ Styles every 5 minutes.
They both square up on the ring apron, and Oku drops Ospreay's knees across the hardest part of the ring, which is a great tactic as it will soften him up for Oku's finisher, the half crab.
The half crab always reminds me of a move I made up with my brother when I was a kid that we called the twisting knee lock, and I never knew what a half crab was, and then every time I see it, it looks like that, and I always think of it. Just a nice little fun fact.
Oku gets back up onto the ring apron and hits an acai moonsault from the top rope to the outside floor. The height he gets is incredible. Back in the ring, Oku follows up with a frog splash on an upright Ospreay, but it can only get a 2 count. Now, I called this the frog splash on an upright Ospreay. Can you remember what they called this move, Vic?
A froggy crossbody, and I love it.
A froggy crossbody.
There's a nice link between the moonsault and the ropes before it, and then a froggy crossbody. That's my new favourite move.
I knew you'd like it. Mirroring the first match perfectly, with Ospreay sitting on the top rope, Oku lands a jumping headbutt to the aerial assassin.
So if Oku's doing the headbutt, is he now the GOAT? Because last time, Ospreay did a headbutt and he said he was the GOAT.
Maybe Ospreay is the assassin goat and Oku is the goat assassin.
Ooh.
Watching the 2 matches so close together, you really get much more out of it as you can see these little moments come out that you may not notice if you go in blind.
Yeah, I like the fact that there was a lot of mirroring of the first match, which I probably wouldn't have remembered.
Oku takes too long and Ospreay sets him up for the cheeky Nando's kick.
I love the name of that move. Makes me laugh every time.
Oku escapes, however, and hits Will with a drop kick in the corner after Ospreay gets his foot stuck in the ropes. Oku goes for a Hurricane Rana from the top rope, but it's blocked. Instead of going for the powerbomb, which could also be reversed, Ospreay tips Oku back and he gets his face smashed into the top rope and goes crashing to the ringside floor. Ospreay then slingshots Oku into the ring post and it busts him wide open. Like a shark, Ospreay smells blood and attacks the cut with punches.
Oh, when he's pulling it about, he's like pulling the cut open. I was like, nah. I don't mind blood, but that was a bit grim. Like, why are you pulling apart a cut?
Ospreay lands his horrible looking Kawada kicks on the champ.
His what?
Kawada kicks.
I genuinely thought they were called koala kicks.
No.
I wasn't even called koalas. No. I don't even know that koalas kick. Oh, that just blew my mind. I really thought they were koala kicks, even though I can't imagine a koala to kick.
As I was saying, Ospreay lands his horrible Kawada kicks on the champ, which leaves blood on Ospreay's pristine white kick pads. It's one of the grossest things you'll ever see, so I'll leave it to Vicky to describe what he does next.
No. He wipes the blood and puts his fingers down his throat with the blood on it. It's like, oh no.
Even just touching your shoe and then putting them in your mouth. That's a gross visual anyway.
It's as if it was in Saltburn.
Oku tries some blows to Ospreay's midsection, but they have no power behind them. Ospreay then gets some fire in him and hits the champ with an overhead belly to back suplex and a nasty looking pile driver, but he cockily covers him and only gets a 2 count.
I love that spot. I thought it really sold the character.
And then Ospreay even gives Oku a sarcastic clap.
Yeah, I liked it, and I also like it someone does a cocky pin and they don't win, because I'm like, stop dicking about. Like, you don't deserve the pin then, they deserve to kick out.
Ospreay then keeps landing forearm blows on Oku, but he refuses to go down and even starts to fire back shots of his own. The last forearm spins the champ around and Ospreay hits his nasty looking one to the back of the head, which finally drops him. Oku valiantly makes his way back to his feet, but one big boot from Ospreay is enough to knock him back down through the ropes to the outside. Ospreay picks up the bloody towel from the last match and wipes it in Oku's face again and forces it into Amira, who is caring for the champ. Retaliating, Amira spits into Ospreay's face, but he doesn't take too kindly to it.
Who would?
He reels his foot back and boots her into the guardrail to monster heat from the crowd.
She spat in his face, she kind of deserved it.
Yeah.
If someone spat in my face, if someone spat in your face, I'd push him.
Ospreay looks for a cutter on the ring apron, but Oku manages to push him over the ring post and he lands back down on the floor. Then he hits a DDT on the challenger after jumping through the first and second rope. The first time I saw this move was in the 2 out of 3 falls match between Sami Zayn and Cesaro in NXT. I didn't expect to see it here at all. Oku spots Amira down on the floor and makes his way over to her to attend to his fallen partner. She encourages her to leave her be and to finish the job. We get back to Ospreay, who is now busted wide open as well. Oku even lands his own slingshot into the ring post as something of a revenge act. Back in the ring, Oku hits 2 pinpoint drop kicks in the corner to Will's face. Then he takes a page out of his book by hitting the challenger with stiff forearms to the back of the head, followed by his own koala kicks.
Koala kicks?
They're definitely not called koala kicks.
They are now.
As Ospreay tries to make his way back to his feet, Oku targets the injured leg again. First, he just kicks it out from under Ospreay. He lands 2 knee drops to the injured leg, followed by dropping him down onto both knees in the middle of the ring. Oku, sensing that this might be the moment, he locks in a figure 4 leg lock. Ospreay tries to turn over to reverse the hold, but it's telegraphed too much, and once Oku is spun over, he turns it into a half crab. Ospreay manages to get to the ropes early to stop the match from being over, however. As Oku looks to hit the ropes, Ospreay busts out a hook kick to the champ, but then, when he does the move where he runs up the opponent's body, he hurts his own knee on the landing. He still manages to pull off a jumping 2-footed stomp on Oku though, but again, he further injures his own knee. As Oku hits the rope, Ospreay pulls off a standing Spanish fly for the close count. As Ospreay goes for a cutter off the second rope, he is caught but manages to hit the opposite ropes on the break and hits it from there instead. Ospreay postures in the corner looking for the hidden blade, but Oku ducks, pulls off a poison rama, but in a last ditch effort, as Ospreay lands back on his feet, he slams Oku with the hidden blade and they both are grounded.
I thought this was going to be the finisher.
Oh, we got a long way to go, pig. They both make it back to their feet and exchange stinging forearm blows, but Ospreay starts to get the better of Oku, who crumples to the mat. Oku switches tactic and moves to just kicking Ospreay's injured leg over and over again. Ospreay strikes back with a super kick and looks to end it with a Stormbreaker, but it's reversed and Oku pulls off a pile driver. He makes his way to the top looking for a frog splash. Because they know each other so well though, Ospreay has it scouted. He moves out of the way and then gets hit with his very own hidden blade for a near fall. Mimicking the previous match, Oku keeps hitting hidden blades, but he won't let the ref count to 3 and keeps pulling Ospreay off the mat.
Why pull him out? It's a good spot and a good callback, but stop dicking about. You don't deserve to win. Honestly, if you can win the match. Don't mess about. Like, just don't do it. It's like when people are on quiz shows and they gamble all the money, and I'm like, you got 20 grand, don't be greedy. Take the money.
And just like we thought, he goes for one final blow, but Ospreay pulls out his own hidden blade from nowhere and they're both floored yet again. While both are kneeling on the Rev Pro logo in the middle of the ring, they exchange forearm shots. Ospreay then comes out with the upper hand, hits a powerbomb and a Styles Clash, but again can only get the 2 count. Oku reaches for Amira's hand in the corner, and when Ospreay pulls Oku back towards himself, she is dragged back in along with her boyfriend. Ospreay signals with the hidden blade again, and when he goes for it, Oku is pushed out of the way by Amira, and Amira is clattered with a sickening blow.
I really like this spot because I couldn't think of any other time when they physically pulled the manager into the ring. So I thought it was a different angle. I really liked it, and the fact that he wasn't going for her, I thought it was a good way to get her involved, but he wasn't attacking her.
In a great heelish move, instead of going for the pinfall or caring about Amira in the middle of the ring, he just shouts to the referee to get her out of the ring.
She was in the way.
She was in the way. As Ospreay goes for it again, he misses and Oku rolls with it and sets up the half crab. Again, Oku can't hold on and Ospreay again escapes, and he hits the champ with the controversial Tiger Driver 91, made famous by the legendary Misawa.
Did he just drop him on his head?
He did just drop him on his head.
That looked like it hurt.
It always does.
I never knew the name of that move.
Tiger Driver 91.
I like it. Now I'm picturing a tiger driving a car.
Oh, for God's sake.
With a 91 on the side. Like a little race car like Lightning McQueen.
He follows this with a hidden blade to the face, and then his finisher, the Stormbreaker. And the ref makes the pin. 1, 2... No! Oku kicks out again, and the crowd go absolutely ballistic. Ospreay removes his elbow pad and looks set to hit yet another hidden blade, but Oku springs to his feet and busts out a Frankensteiner for another close call.
Lovely reverse.
Ospreay is back up though and looks for a pile driver, but Oku reverses it and hits the Sega Mega Driver. The crowd are now in absolute disbelief.
It was such a good crowd. I do believe that this match, if the crowd weren't on it, wouldn't have been the same. The crowd, it's a good match, but the crowd make it just the whole... I know they say like it makes a difference. I think it really did here. I think if the crowd weren't behind it, it would have had a completely different feel.
Have you ever seen the move, the Sega Mega Driver, before?
I've never heard that term. I like it. I'm learning lots about move names, guys.
Oku, sensing that this could be the end, he hits 2 frog splashes from the top and locks in the half crab.
Can we just confirm this is a frog splash, not a froggy crossbody?
Yes,
just to clarify.
These are frog splashes. As Ospreay makes his way to the ropes, Amira looks him square in the eyes, flips him off. Oku then drags him back to the centre of the ring, arches all the way back, and Ospreay is forced to tap at the 47-minute mark. After a long, hard 2 years for the champ, he is finally able to get one over on the biggest foe and holds on to his undisputed British heavyweight title.
I did not expect a submission. I expected Oku to win, but I did not expect a submission.
After the match, Oku helps Ospreay back to his feet in a peace offering. Ospreay snatches the belt from the ref's hand and considers his next move. Then, in a true passing of the torch moment, Ospreay hands over the title to Oku and gives him the nod of approval. So Vicky, what did you think of Will Ospreay versus Michael Oku from High Stakes?
I thought it was good, but don't at me, guys. I don't think it was as good as last time.
Ooh, that is controversial.
Yeah, I thought it was good, but I don't think it was good as last time. I have high hopes for rematches, and as I said at the beginning, I think they have to be better than the first match. Do I think overall this was better? No. I think it's on par, so for me it's not as good. So slightly less for me.
Slightly less?
Because it was as good as the first and it wasn't better, I just think it's a rematch.
Okay, so far on Cage Match Wrestling, it's got a 9.55 rating.
Is that out of 10?
Yeah. Meltzer is calling it the match of the year. Do you think the praise is due?
Yeah, I think the praise is due. I think it was a really good match. I was expecting more, and I hate to say that. But as I said at the beginning, it took me out of it when he oversold it. It was still a bit of a slow burn at the beginning. It's a 47-minute match.
That is a long match, yeah.
And as we all know, my attention span is not great. So for it to be a long match, it has to hold my attention. I didn't feel like there was as many high-flying moments as I've seen Ospreay do before. For me, if this match was 30 minutes, would it have been just as good? Probably. If you gave me like sections of the match, would there be bits I could have taken out? Yeah.
So what would you give this out of 5?
Can I be controversial and say 4.25? I would say 4.4 because I think it was just a little less. But you won't let me do a 0.4.
No, you definitely can't do 0.4.
So I'll say 4.25, slightly less than the first one.
Wow, okay.
Don't hate me, guys.
Well, no, it's your opinion. That's totally fine. What did I think? I think it's a 5-star. I gave the last match a 5-star, so I thought the last match was better than what you thought. And I think this match was even better than the last match.
This did have a froggy crossbody.
I think the last match had a froggy crossbody as well, but we didn't pick up on that term last time. And as soon as I heard it in the commentary, I knew you were going to love it.
Rev Pro had better audio. We might have heard it in the first time.
That is true.
Not quite 5-star for me.
But yeah, I thought this match was unbelievable. I didn't know how they were going to top the last one because I loved the last match so much. I loved the references to the last match. I thought it was really clever. They did some of the spots, even things like the headbutt in the corner that Oku did to Ospreay, which was reversal of last time. The fact that Oku at one point didn't want to go for the pin because he wanted to get somewhat of revenge from last time. I loved that they built on that Oku was stronger than last time because he's more confident now, he's been the champion.
Going on the callbacks, it's just the same again. It's like,
I see what you're saying. Yeah, it did have a lot of callbacks, but it wasn't just the same things over again.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Maybe it's because it was a long match and a slow burn, and that instantly doesn't get my back up. I wish instead of a 60-minute time limit, wrestling had a 30-minute time limit. That would be ideal. Look, I won't watch a film if it's like 3.5 hours long. Like, I'll look at it on Netflix and be like, nah, that's too long. I ain't got time for that.
That's fair, because everyone's got different opinions.
The internet will think I'm wrong. But if you think I'm wrong, tell me in the comments.
Well, no, because it's your opinion, you know? It's just because we've got a different opinion doesn't mean that either one of us is wrong. Even though you are wrong.
So what did Dave Meltzer actually think about the match? Michael Oku beat Will Ospreay in 47 minutes and 11 seconds via submission with the half crab in Ospreay's last independent match and one of the best matches I've ever seen. The show headlined Rev Pro High Stakes on the 18th of February in London at the Crystal Palace before a packed house of 1,780 paid, which was the second highest gate behind the August show at the Copper Box in company history. The match was a rematch of the 2022 bout that was perhaps the best storytelling match in years. This match was clearly a step up when you compare it to last week's Bryan Danielson vs Jack Sabre Jr. match. Obviously, Danielson vs Sabre was better technically because that match is as good as it gets for technical wrestling. But this match beat it for the heat, drama, build, storytelling and athleticism. Even more, the entire presentation, from Ospreay's final ring entrance to his closing promo, made for 70 of the most incredible and emotional minutes you will ever see. Ospreay started with Rev Pro at the age of 19, where he got his first match with Okada that opened the door to New Japan. His entrance included different people standing there with every different robe Ospreay has worn in the promotion. Ospreay came out with a towel covered in Oku's blood from the 2022 match and threw it at Amira, Oku's girlfriend and a huge part of the feud. One of the stipulations was the only way Oku could submit was if Amira threw in the towel. With Ospreay in his last match and the guy who people came to see, they exploded for him when he came out. But he worked as the heel, and while people wowed at some of his moves, they really were behind Oku, who had never beaten Ospreay previously. After losing, Ospreay started clapping for Oku. Oku offered his hand, Ospreay grabbed the belt and handed it to Oku. Oku took it and left the ring to Ospreay. This was one of those deals when the crowd already decided it was a classic before they even touched. Both guys were tremendous, but the crowd was really a big part of making this match and this show. It started slow but was paced in a way that it hardly felt like a 47-minute match. This is one of the deals when the crowd had already decided it was a classic before they even touched. Both guys were tremendous, but the crowd was a big part of making this match and this show. It started slow but was paced in a way that it hardly felt like a 47-minute match. It had the Ospreay moves, but it was very, very different from an Ospreay match of even 2 years ago, let alone 4 years ago. To me, this was one of the best matches I've ever seen. And most of the comments from people live talking about it after was that it was one of the best matches they've ever seen live. Between the heat for such a long match, the drama, the story and how well it built. This was a match where two guys set out to have the match of their lives and everything clicked.
So there we go guys, that was Will Ospreay vs Michael Oku from High Stakes 2024. What did you guys think of the match? Was Vicky maybe too harsh on the match?
Nope.
Do you agree with me that it was match of the year and it should be ranked 5 stars or more? I thought you were going to say nope again then.
I shook my head and then forgot that we're not on camera.
Should Vicky have her wrestling fan card revoked now?
Nope.
Are these grounds for divorce?
I hope not, but if they are, I'm taking half your wrestling collection, so think carefully about your thoughts here.
Let us know down in the comments, and if we haven't insulted you too much with this review, then leave us a like and subscribe to our channel, as it would really help us out. So as always, it's a bye from Vicky.
Bye guys!
And it's a bye from me. Bye! And hopefully, we'll see you for another video soon.